Imagine the roar of the crowd, the tension just crackling in the air. You've got this global cricketing powerhouse, India, standing at a crossroads. We're talking about more than just a game here. It's a high-stakes tactical puzzle, one that could really define a nation's sporting glory. Today, we're taking a deep dive into India's strategic blueprint for the Asia Cup 2025. It's kicking off soon in the electrifying city of Dubai. Our mission really is to unpack the fascinating and, let's be honest, complex decisions facing the Indian cricket team. They're gearing up for their opening match against the United Arab Emirates. That's on September 10th. And then just 4 days later, the massive one, the monumental clash against arch rivals Pakistan on September 14th. At the heart of it all lies this critical decision. How does India balance its formidable arsenal? You've got specialist spinners, pace bowlers, and those indispensable, versatile all-rounders. It's a real tightrope walk, demanding foresight, flexibility. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating here, I think, and often the biggest headache for the strategists, is the unique nature of the pitches at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium. They are just famously unpredictable.
Unpredictable how? Like, what specifically makes them so tricky?
Well, early in a game, they can actually assist the fast bowlers quite a bit, offer swing, seam movement, keeps the batsmen on their toes.
Okay, so early advantage potentially to the Pacers.
Exactly. But, and this is the key, as the match progresses, the conditions tend to shift. Dry, abrasive, and that heavily favors the spinners. They can extract significant turn, serious grip.
Right, so the game changes character completely midway through sometimes.
Completely. And then just to add another layer, you've got the dew in the evening games.
Ah, yes, the dew. Always a factor in Dubai.
Makes it tougher for bowlers to grip the ball, and often turns those matches into high-scoring chases. So it's not just about picking players, it's a strategic puzzle. Needs foresight, needs adaptability on the fly.
So it's not just about the advice players, but how they adapt to these, phases within the game itself.
Precisely. You need players who can potentially play different roles depending on the conditions and the game situation. It's complex.
And speaking of planning for that complexity, we've definitely seen head coach Gambhir's approach since taking the helm.
Yeah.
Because there's a clear preference for multi-skilled players, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. Gambhir has consistently emphasized the crucial importance of all-rounders. Players who can genuinely contribute with both bat and ball. It provides remarkable depth. You could potentially have batting depth right down to number 8.
Now, India's always relied on, stalwarts like Ravindra, Jadeja, Hardik, Pandya for that balance. But this feels different, elevated somehow.
It does. While those players have been key, Gambhir seems to be doubling down on this philosophy, especially for the Asia Cup where adaptability is just king. And it connects to a broader trend in modern cricket, really. Teams everywhere are valuing players who can wear multiple hats, less reliance on one-dimensional stars.
So who are we talking about specifically in this current Indian setup beyond Pandya and Jadeja?
Well, Pandya is a prime example, isn't he? Fiery spells with the ball, incredible finishing power with the bat. Jadeja, as you said, his fielding alone is game-changing, plus the spin and that lower-order batting grit.
Right.
But then you look at others, too. Axar Patel, for instance. Bowls tight, economical overs, and can chip in with really crucial runs, often under pressure.
Okay.
And Shivam Dubey, his power hitting is, explosive. But he also offers that handy medium-pace bowling option, gives the captain choices.
So this approach, it gives India huge flexibility, doesn't it? To accelerate, tighten the screws, cover for someone having an off day.
Exactly that. It's about building resilience and options into the team structure itself.
Okay, so India's got this focus on all-rounders, providing that depth and flexibility.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets really interesting for me. How does that strategy then inform the age-old debate, especially in Dubai? Specialist spinner, specialist pacer. You still have to pick your main weapons.
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's the ultimate tactical tightrope. Let's look at the spin argument first.
Yeah.
An extra specialist spinner. Well, they could potentially run riot on those turning tracks as the game wears on, especially against teams, say, like UAE or Oman, who might struggle against real quality spin.
So dominating the middle overs.
Precisely. Providing that crucial stranglehold, drying up the runs, building pressure. We know what Kuldeep Yadav can do. His wrist spin can just bamboozle batsmen. And remember Varun Chakravarthi, that 5-wicket haul against New Zealand in the Champions Trophy final earlier this year? That was mystery spin at its best.
A match-winning spell.
Absolutely. So the thinking might be bring in a third specialist spinner, maybe Axar in that role, or even someone like Chahal and just dominate that middle phase. Make it incredibly hard to score.
That sounds really compelling, especially on those Dubai tracks. But then,
Right.
what about the other side of the coin? The pace attack. You mentioned the early swing.
Right. And you can't ignore that. The pace argument is just as strong in a different way. A specialist like Jasprit Bumrah, I mean, he's almost indispensable, isn't he?
Totally.
His ability to strike early, get those breakthroughs in the power play, and then come back at the death, he's a potential game changer, especially up front or under lights if that dew comes in and makes spin harder to control.
So you pair him with maybe Siraj or Arshdeep Singh. That's a potent new ball attack.
Exactly. That could give India a massive edge in the power play, potentially blow away the top order before they even get going.
But here's the dilemma then. If you load up with, say, a third specialist pacer, someone like Prasad Krishna, maybe do you risk being short on spin options later on when the pitch starts to bite?
That's precisely the gamble. You could stretch your bowling resources too thin for a specific phase. You might have too much pace when spin is the key, or vice versa.
So it's about predicting when the game will be won or lost, almost, and backing that phase.
It really is. It's about reading the conditions, reading the opposition, and making that calculated risk on which attack combination gives you the best chance across the full 40 overs.
Okay, let's shift focus a bit. The opening match, September 10th against the UAE. How important is this game, really? Is it just a warm-up?
Well, yes and no. On paper, India are strong favorites, obviously, but it's being viewed as a crucial low-risk opportunity, a chance to test combinations, test strategies.
Like a dress rehearsal for the Pakistan game.
Sort of, yeah. The management will be watching very closely. How does the pitch actually play? How do the bowlers respond under match conditions, even if it's not the highest pressure?
And for the UAE, this must be massive for them.
Oh, absolutely massive.
Yeah.
This Asia Cup is, for them, like their World Cup moment. A rare chance to play against the absolute best. Imagine being an associate player, maybe juggling a day job, and suddenly you're facing Bumrah or trying to get Shubman Gill out. It's a dream come true.
You expect them to just soak it up, enjoy the experience.
Exactly. They'll want to showcase their talent, obviously, but it's a huge occasion regardless of the result. Their passion could make it interesting, too.
And from India's perspective, looking at the lineup for that UAE game, Shubman Gill's return at the top seems significant.
Yes, his return really reshapes things. Elegant stroke play, anchors the innings. He's become a cornerstone.
But his presence means someone misses out. Looks like Sanju Samson, despite his, flair.
Yeah, that seems likely in this setup. It's a tough call. Samson's a quality player. But it looks like Jiter Sharma is edging ahead in that wicketkeeper-batter race.
Because of his finishing reputation.
Precisely. It highlights India's laser focus on specific roles. They seem to be testing that template, anchor at the top, power through the middle, and a designated finisher like Sharma at the end.
So the UAE game is a chance to see if that template clicks, if Sharma can deliver those quick runs at the death.
Exactly. It's a perfect low-pressure test for that specific batting structure. See how it functions if they can accelerate effectively.
Okay, UAE match is important tactically, but let's be real. All eyes, billions of eyes, are firmly fixed on September 14th. India versus Pakistan.
Yep. This one, it just transcends sport, doesn't it? The history, the rivalry, the pressure is immense, unlike anything else.
For proper pressure cooker.
Absolutely. And Pakistan, they bring a serious challenge. Their bowling attack, formidable. Shaheen Afridi with that left arm swing, Naseem Shah's pace. They will test India's batting, no doubt.
And their batting. Babar Azam is pure class.
He is. His artistry, combined with their aggressive middle order, they pose a significant threat. It's strength against strength in many ways.
So how does India plan to counter Pakistan? Does that all-rounder strategy become even more critical here?
I think it undoubtedly hinges on them. Think about Hardik Pandya. His ability to bowl crucial overs, maybe target Babar or bowl at the death, and then his power hitting, he could single-handedly tilt the balance.
Then Jadeja.
Vital. His all-round brilliance. Controlling the middle overs with spin, picking up key wickets, and then that calm batting presence lower down. Absolutely crucial.
So that spinner versus pacer debate we talked about, even more intense for the Pakistan game.
Definitely, because Pakistan's batters historically have sometimes struggled against quality spin, especially wrist spin, but they can also be very aggressive against pace.
So you need bowlers who can exploit the spin weakness, but also contain the pace counterattack. Tricky.
Very tricky. Finding that perfect blend for that specific opposition on that specific day, That's the strategic masterstroke they'll be aiming for.
And this is where maybe the learnings from the UAE game become absolutely vital, right? It's not just a rehearsal anymore.
Couldn't agree more. How the pitch played against UAE, which bowlers felt comfortable, which combinations clicked under pressure, how that batting template fired, all that feeds directly into the Pakistan plan.
So it's like a live data gathering exercise.
Exactly. It offers invaluable real-time information to fine-tune the strategy for the big one. It's a tactical laboratory before the main event.
And India does have positive recent experience in Dubai to draw on. That Champions Trophy win earlier this year, beating New Zealand in the final, also in Dubai.
Yes, that was March 9th, wasn't it? A 4-wicket win. And that victory absolutely offers a potential roadmap.
How so? What were the key takeaways?
Well, India's spinners really shone in that tournament, and particularly in the final. Kuldeep and Varun Chakravarti played starring roles. They exploited the conditions brilliantly.
So spin was key.
It was. But it wasn't just the spinners working in isolation. The pacers often provided early control or breakthroughs, setting it up for the spinners to dominate the middle overs. And the batting, crucial contributions. Rohit Sharma got 76, Shreyas Iyer 48. They anchored the chase.
Right, preventing panic.
Exactly. And then Jadeja's composure at the end sealed it. The big takeaway was definitely adaptability and the impact of those multi-skilled players. Jadeja's contribution with bat and ball was immense.
So flexibility was the mantra.
It really was. But, and this is important, the Asia Cup is T20. The Champions Trophy was 50 overs. T20 demands even faster decisions, more aggression.
So you can't just consolidate, like in a 50-over game.
Not really. You need that balance between caution, not losing early wickets, and flair, keeping that scoreboard moving rapidly. It's a different kind of pressure.
Okay, so beyond UAE and Pakistan, there's Oman on September 19th. Then the playoffs start almost immediately after on the 20th. Every game counts, doesn't it? For momentum, for fine-tuning.
Absolutely. Each match is a chance to refine the approach, keep learning about the pitches, opponent strategies, build that winning momentum. And, these tournaments feed into longer-term goals, too, like preparations for a potential World Test Championship final down the line. Every bit of high-pressure experience helps.
So wrapping this up then, what does it all mean as India steps onto that field in Dubai? They're carrying immense skill, sure, but also the hopes of, well, a billion fans.
Yeah, the pressure's always there.
The Asia Cup feels like more than just a tournament. It's a real test. Strategy, adaptability, nerve, the choices they make on balancing spinners, pacers, all-rounders, that's their statement of intent.
And they certainly have the tools. Those multi-skilled players are the glue holding it all together. They have the potential to dominate.
It's T20 cricket, isn't it? In that cauldron, a single over can change everything. Execution is absolutely key.
It really is. Tactical plans are great, but performing under that intense pressure day in, day out, that's what separates the winners. Reading the conditions on the day, making those brave calls, that's crucial. That Champions Trophy win gives them confidence, but every game is new.
So, as the sun sets over Dubai, the stage is set for a spectacle. And you have to wonder, how much will these carefully debated tactics, honed from past wins and current challenges, how much will they really matter against the raw pressure of one bad over, or the mind games in that huge rivalry match? Is the winning strategy just about skill and planning? Or is it more about who reads the conditions best, who handles the pressure, who wins that unseen battle played out between the ears? Something to think about. So as you follow the Asia Cup, we really invite you to look beyond just the scores. Immerse yourself in those fascinating tactical battles. That's where the real story often lies, and that's what will likely decide who lifts that coveted trophy.